Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Denver Bears franchise. We are now here at the end of August, still about 10 games over 500, 9 to be exact, and here we are fighting for that wild card spot in the division title in the NL West. Now, our hitting has improved year to year from last year to this year dramatically, moving up pretty much 8 to 7 spots in batting average and on-base percentage. But our biggest jump has been ERA this year, where we find ourselves 4th in the MLB. And look who's ahead of us, the Padres and Dodgers, 2 division teams. That is incredible. Now, last episode, I wanted to, kind of experiment moving up D'Anthony Pierre, but a lot of you guys said that you wanted to see Justin Maxwell at the MLB level now, and you think that he's ready. My hesitation with him is ruining his confidence and his potential when he gets moved up. I think that one thing with this game is that you need to be careful with moving up top prospects, because if they do poorly, it will affect their growth, and their potential rating can go up and can go down based on how they're doing. So I definitely want to be careful with that. We will come back to Justin Maxwell later, but at the MLB level, our hitting is doing pretty good, but I think we're just not being consistent with hitting the ball and getting runs scored. Now, Muhammad Willingham helped with that. He's hitting 252, 328 on base percentage. One thing I love about the top 4 guys in our lineup is that they all get on base at a high clip. I want to see a little bit better output from the guys behind them, kind of like Elias Diaz. Will Benson's hitting 246. I think he's fine because he's slugging very well. But I want to see some guys get on base at the bottom of our lineup. CJ Abrams has been scoring a lot of runs. I want to see that average get up. I think he has way more potential than what he's showing. But on the mound, we really are having a great year. Ramel Coffer has been the surprise this year. He has progressed a whole lot. He's at 85 overall right now, 116 whip. But the one forgotten guy at the trade deadline who we acquired was Lon Rivas. He has a .99 whip in 48 innings pitched. That is having himself a great season, and he's going to be a crucial guy, much like Nick Goody is to this pitching staff. I mean, Nick Goody comes in, shuts guys down. I think Lon Rivas will also be there to get into that role just for like 1 inning. Now, Atlas Luntich is having a good year as our 3rd and 4th starting pitcher. I love what he is doing, and I love that, we finally have a prospect who we moved up that has actually worked with our pitching staff, so that's pretty good. Hopefully, D'Anthony Pierre sticks. And then Trez Jenkins, we moved him up. He's having a terrible start to his MLB career. I won't move him down, but I just won't pitch him as much, so we'll see what type of role he has going forward. And now we end the month of August versus one of the best teams in the NL in the New York Mets, facing Joey Lucchesi on the mound, and we score 3 runs off of him in the 5th inning to take a 3-0 lead, but then John Gray gives up a 2-run home run in the 6th, but Denver adds 1 more in the 7th. We decide to put in Nick Goody, that role that I was just talking about, get him in the game and have them shut the other team down, and it worked. We shut them down, and our offense went berserk, scoring 5 runs in the next 2 innings, and we went on to win this game by a score of 8-3. Garrett Hampson 1 for 4, 2 runs and a home run to get the player of the game in this one. And now we have our 2nd game with the Mets, and we decide to sim that as well. And it looks like Brian Rocchio gets hurt in the process of going through that game at the end of the month of August. He is one of our best AAA prospects. He had a chance of being moved up, but he actually did not make it. And I don't think he was going to make the team anyway, even during September call-ups. Ryan Rocchio, a guy that I acquired in trade a couple of years ago, he is still not ready in my opinion. He's not hitting great at the minor league level, but he's still in his young 20s, so he's got a lot of youth left. So that moves us to this 2nd game versus the Mets. We're up 3-2 in the top of the 9th inning. Hira already hit 2 home runs in this one, was going for number 3 with that at-bat, and he does not get it. But the Denver Bears hold on to win this game, so we win 2 straight at the end of the month of August, defeating the Mets, who almost have double the amount of wins than they have losses, and we win this game by only getting 4 hits to their 8, 2 home runs by Keston Hira. we decide to revisit Justin Maxwell, and I'm going to listen to you guys here. I'm going to move him up. He is 20 years old. You know, he's got a whole lot of youth to him, 77 overall as well. I was planning on having him at the MLB level next season in spring training, but let's see what he can do right here. Give us a little push towards the playoffs. So here we are moving through the month of September now, and first we start out by facing the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-game set here at the beginning of the month. And here in the bottom of the 9th inning, we have an opportunity to come through clutch. Elias Diaz does line out to second base. That brings up Hitor Takahashi to the plate, who is struggling this season, hitting about 203. And with the man on second base, he's actually been here before. He's actually been pretty clutch. Let's see what he can do. We tried to go to a pinch hitter there, but Charlie Blackmon was our only bench bat. Now he faces a 2-1 count, watches that one on the inside half, working it to 3-1 with the curveball. Will Benson on second, who's got decent speed as well. And the 3-1 pitch is on right down the middle. And Hitor Takahashi goes to right field, and it's going to be dropped. And Benson will come around to score. We have started out this episode with a few wins. Hitor comes through. A big reason why I haven't moved Hitor Takahashi down despite his struggles at the plate is because of his base running ability. When there's a guy on second or a guy on first, when I need a bag swiped or I need somebody fast to score, I definitely go to Hitor Takahashi on the bench. He's an excellent base runner. I think personally when I've tried to use him in steal situations, he has been unsuccessful, but I know he's got the speed. So we move on to the next game in this 3-game set. Here is Nolan Arenado at the plate still with the Cardinals. He is going to ground out the short. But how about the play by CJ Abrams? That's the reason why we have him on the squad. He is so good defensively at short. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate now with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Jordan Hicks looking for another save in the All-Star. Will strike out Goldschmidt facing his former team, and it will be a win here, 6-5, another close win for the Bears. And we get it done, 12 hits for the Cardinals, 9 for us. And it looks like Fuentes went 2 for 3. He's having a phenomenal year, a career year at that. I believe he has his career high in home runs this year, also his career high in batting average in a full season. So we move on to the next game, and we end up completing the sweep of the Cardinals. So we win about our last 7 of our last 8 games here to start this month. And now we face the Giants here in a 3-game set at home. Let's see if we can get it done. So here is Derek Rodriguez going for the complete game here versus our divisional opponent. And that one's going to be a strike 3 on a check swing. Austin Slater at the plate. He's going to foul out to first base, and that one will be caught by Blackmon in the place of Muhammad Willingham today. 2 outs here as Masami Hisakawa comes to the plate. He has moved around quite a bit here in this series. He played for the Angels, now is the star, yes, the star of the Giants, and we walk him. And I decide to go to the bullpen, bring in Lon Rivas. I told you guys I wanted him to be in that Nick Goody role of just needing 1 out or getting us out of a inning. And here he gets a fly ball to center field, and that one will do it. Benito Ozuna camps under that one. A 3-0 victory here for Denver. We're starting to win some games here at the beginning of this month and streak a little bit. Hopefully this keeps up. 3-0 here as we shut out the San Francisco Giants, and we get the win in that game. Now we start a 3-game set versus the Padres, then Milwaukee, then the Arizona Diamondbacks. We face, 6 games straight? So that's going to be an interesting matchup right there as well in the middle of the month, as now we have about a month left in the season, and we're looking to shut down the rest of our divisional opponents here. And we start with the Padres, as they are fighting just like us in the same spot. Justin Maxwell finally will get his first start. He's appeared in a couple of games, but now we're going to give him the start. It hasn't looked pretty so far, though. A 2.57 whip and just 2 1/3 inning pitched. So this tough Padres lineup starts out with Barry Gasaldo, who they acquired in season number 1. I believe that trade was to boost their outfield after Trent Grisham started struggling, and he has stuck in their lineup. He hits leadoff, hitting 275. He grounds out to short for Justin Maxwell's first out. That brings up the next batter in the 2 spot before getting to Tatis and Machado, and Justin Maxwell gets his first major league strikeout 2 outs in this inning. Let's see if Maxwell can make his first inning 1-2-3 as he faces Manny Machado, who has absolutely killed us in this series. And Machado goes to right field. And how about Will Benson missing out on that one down the right field line? And that one will be a triple to start out this game. Manny Machado has been terrible to get out in this series. Tatis up to the plate now. He hits one down the left field line. That one will get to the corner and left, and Tatis with 91 speed will easily make it into second with a stand-up double. It's 1-0 here as we threw Justin Maxwell into the fire. And here we go, facing Eric Hosmer. He hits one up the middle. That one gets down. Benito Ozuna gets it in quickly, but the throw will not come home as Tatis has too much speed. It's now 2-0 here to start this game. Will Myers at the plate now hitting .256, and we finally get out of this inning. A ground ball to Abrams, flipped onto Hira at second, and they will start this game out 2-0. We will focus on Maxwell in this matchup as here we start out the bottom of the second inning, and look at this. They just stick out their bat on that one and get a hit. I believe that was Nola at the plate. Now that brings up Grisham, ground ball up the middle, and that one gets through as well. 2 straight hits to start out the second inning. I think they're starting to dial in on Maxwell. Lamet at the plate looking to sacrifice bunt here, and he bunts a perfect one down the third base line. That one will be a sacrifice. Moving the runners over. Barry Gasaldo at the plate, 0 for 1. He goes up the middle as well. That one will get down in center. The throw to second, and it's now 4-0 here in Justin Maxwell's debut. Maxwell continues this inning. We want this young guy to fight. I don't care at this point. He gets one, he gives one up to left center, and that one gets over the diving glove of our big signing of the offseason, Jesse Winker. And how about this? Justin Maxwell is already in trouble here. 4-0, guys on second and third with 1 out. We decide to pull him there, and we bring in D'Anthony Pierre. Why not? I mean, we're down 4-0 here. Bring in our young guys, get them some experience, and hopefully our offense can bring us back. Tough outing here. Machado at the plate next. He hits one hard up the middle. And our young guys are just getting shelled in this one. And Justin Maxwell, that will be his 6th earned run in this game. He has not started out his MLB career very pretty. So that continues this inning now with 2 outs. D'Anthony Pierre does eventually get out of it with a ground ball to second by Eric Hosmer. But now we move on to the top of the 7th inning. Justin Maxwell doesn't even last 2 innings in this game. As that brings up Muhammad Willingham to the plate. Bases loaded here. 1 out, and he gets anxious and swings that one on a 1-2 count. And it will just be a ground out to Tatis at short. The Padres up 7-4 here in the top of the 9th inning as that brings up Jesse Winker to the plate. He hits one hard to the right side. That one does get down. And the game-tying run comes to the plate here with Keston Hiura, the guy who you want up in these situations because he can change the game with one swing of the bat. He's actually swinging a pretty hot bat right now, hitting .270 on the season. Now he's facing Taylor Williams here. 2-1 count, works it to 3-1. And let's see what he has. Right over the middle, and it's just a hard ground ball to second base. That was the pitch we were looking forward to, but it just ends up being a ground out to end this game. And that will do it here versus the Padres. 7-4 ends up being the final. And Eric Hosmer goes 3 for 4, but the top of their lineup absolutely killed us in this game. I guess it's the whole lineup, to be honest. And Justin Maxwell only lasts 1 1/3 in his debut as a starting pitcher. So we move on in this series. We end up simulating the next one. We win 3-2 versus the Padres as we got 12 hits. Josh Fuentes gets player of the game, going 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, having a phenomenal year. Then we move on to the Milwaukee and the Arizona series where it just does not get prettier. We win versus Milwaukee, and that was a 3-1 victory. But then we go on to lose 6 straight games. But look at the scores of these games. We're just not putting up runs. 3-5, 3-7, 4-9. 4-9 isn't bad, but 0-8, 1-2, 2-3. We have to score runs, and that's just something we're not doing because look at our losses. I mean, at least we're losing when other teams are scoring, 5, 4 runs. We had a couple of, 1-2, 3-2 losses, but for the most part, teams that are beating us are scoring like 5, 6, 7 runs. So our AA season and AAA seasons end. I did not highlight them as much this year because this was more of an MLB focused season, because now our prospects are now starting to move up. But we will highlight them in the season recap and see how, our minor league stats, our minor league players did stat-wise. I revisit Justin Maxwell, and wow, through that stretch, he only pitched 6 innings, 20 hits, 15 runs given up, 14 earned runs. One of the worst debuts I've ever seen in this game. I definitely have to move him down. I cannot crush his confidence like that, and I want him to, keep going. And even though the AA, AAA season is over, I just need to move him down, avoid him getting shelled some more. So I decided to move up another minor leaguer in Mike Salucci. And we end up winning the next 2 games versus the New York Mets, so we do break that losing streak. We end up beating the Mets, who are 94-55. Why are we beating the Mets so much? And they are one of the best teams in the NL. But we end up getting back on track, end up being 10 games over 500 again. But we were trailing towards about like 15 games over 500 at the beginning of this month. But now we end up being 10 games, and we advance on to the next series versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. We end up splitting in the first 2 games of a 3-game set. We win that one 5-2, and then the next game we face Andrew Heaney, and we end up defeating them 12-2. As Garrett Hampson went 3 for 5, 2 home runs. How about the season that Garrett Hampson's having? He's going to demand top dollar in free agency. I'm excited for him to get paid. So moving on to the end of the season here, we have about 9 games remaining here, and I believe, we're at game 153 right now, so I guess that's 9 games exactly. Looking at our record, we are 82-71. And I look at the teams around us. We have the Brewers 81-72, the Padres 80-73, and the Dodgers look like they are probably going to take the division. So what we're fighting for right now is one of these 2 wild card spots. I really don't care which one. I just want to win. And now going into this last series, I really want to get these wins. We have the Dodgers coming up. We have the Padres as well, but the Padres series is the big one. And that's the one we will highlight next episode, because this is the team that is close to us in the wild card chase along with the Brewers, but we do not face the Brewers. So we want to create that separation with the Padres. The next pitching matchup to start this 3-game set, it will be a focus episode on this series, and it will be the season finale as well. So we will finally come to an end in season number 4's regular season, and we'll see if the Denver Bears can make the playoffs after 4 years of rebuilding. And Atlas Luntich gets the start, one of the most underrated players on our squad, probably will be Rookie of the Year in the NL. We'll have to see how that plays out. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned, let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in a dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, this how we ride.